Water, the source of all life. Under the sweltering heat of the tropics, a crystal clear blue lake is a sanctuary. It invites you in. It promises relief. It promises peace. But sometimes the surface of the water is a mirror, hiding a dark abyss underneath. Welcome to another episode. Tonight, we journey to the southern part of Vietnam, leaving the chaotic, noisy streets of Ho Chi Minh City to head to the outskirts, a place known as the University Village, a place of youth, education, and the future. But nestled right in the heart of this vibrant student town is a body of water so beautiful, yet so deadly, that locals call it the Lake of Death. Its real name is Ho Da, Stone Lake. Over the past 2 decades, this small, silent lake has claimed the lives of dozens of young people. Why do they keep jumping in? What is pulling them down? Is it the sheer jagged rocks hiding beneath the surface? Or is it something else? Something waiting in the dark. Tonight, we will explore the mystery of Stone Lake. We will delve into Asian folklore, the psychology of youth, and the terrifying science of quarry lakes. And for those of you improving your English with us, pay close attention. Throughout tonight's story, we will explore advanced vocabulary to describe the mysterious and the supernatural. Words like deceptive, undercurrent, and superstition. We will review them at the end of the video. Now, relax your body, turn up the volume, and whatever you do not go near the water. To understand the tragedy of Stone Lake, you must first understand the heat. Imagine a sweltering afternoon in the south. The temperature is 35 degrees Celsius, but the humidity makes it feel like 40. The air is thick and sticky. You are a university student, away from your parents for the first time, living in a crowded dormitory. You are young, you are free, and you are feeling the crushing weight of the tropical sun. You and your friends decide to go for a walk to escape the heat. You walk past the concrete buildings, past the food stalls, until the landscape suddenly opens up. And there it is, Stone Lake. It is breathtaking. If you look at photos of this lake, you might think you are looking at a hidden paradise in a fantasy movie. The water is a brilliant, mesmerizing shade of emerald green. It is perfectly still, reflecting the blue sky like a giant mirror. Surrounding the lake are massive, towering cliffs of gray stone. They rise violently out of the earth, creating a natural fortress. Green vines and wild bushes cling to the edges. It looks wild. It looks untouched. But it is incredibly deceptive. You see, Stone Lake is not a natural lake. It was never meant to be a place for swimming. Decades ago, this entire area was a massive rock quarry. For years, miners used heavy explosives like dynamite to blast away the earth, digging deeper and deeper to extract stone for construction. When the mining company finally abandoned the site, they left behind massive, jagged craters in the earth. Over the years, tropical rainstorms filled these deep, violent scars with water. Because it was created by explosives, the bottom of the lake is not smooth like a beach. It does not gradually get deeper. Instead, the underwater landscape is a nightmare of sharp, unpredictable cliffs. You could be standing in water up to your knees, take one single step forward, and suddenly plunge into a sheer drop of 30 or 40 meters. There is no warning, just the drop. Shim. But to the young student standing on the edge of the cliffs on a boiling summer day, the water looks too perfect to resist. Despite the rusty metal fences built by the authorities, despite the faded signs with red letters warning, danger, no swimming, they still cross the barrier. They always cross the barrier. The optimism of youth tells them, it won't happen to me. I am a strong swimmer. They strip off their shirts, laugh with their friends, and dive into the emerald water. Let me tell you a story. It is a composite of many true events that have happened at Stone Lake. It is a Sunday afternoon in 2015. A group of 4 friends is sitting on the rocky edge of the lake. They are celebrating the end of their exams. They brought a guitar, some snacks, and a few beers. The sun is beating down on the gray rocks, making them hot to the touch. One of the boys, let's call him Eden, decides he needs to cool off. Eden is a very good swimmer. He grew up in the countryside, swimming in rivers all year round. To him, a calm lake is nothing to be afraid of. He jumps in. The water feels incredible. The top layer of the lake is warmed by the tropical sun. It feels like a warm bath. He swims out about 10 meters from the rocky shore. He waves to his friends. They laugh and take photos of him with their phones. Eden treads water, enjoying the silence. But then, he decides to dive down just a little bit, just to see how deep it goes. He takes a deep breath and dives under the surface. 2 meters down, the water is still warm. But as he reaches the 3-meter mark, something terrifying happens. He crosses an invisible boundary. In limnology, the study of lakes, this is called a thermocline. Because the lake is so deep and the water is completely still, the sun only heats the thin top layer. Right beneath that layer, the water temperature drops drastically and violently. Eden suddenly hits a pocket of freezing subterranean water. The shock is immediate. Under the tropical heat, his body temperature was very high. Now, surrounded by freezing water, his muscles undergo a severe, violent spasm. He tries to kick his legs, but his calves cramp up. They become stiff as stone. Panic starts to set in. He opens his eyes, but the emerald water is now pitch black. Sunlight cannot reach this depth. He tries to swim up, but he realizes he no longer knows which way is up and which way is down. The sharp, jagged rocks from the dynamite blasts form underwater caves and overhangs. He is completely disoriented. On the surface, his friends are still laughing. They expect Eden to pop up at any second, wiping water from his hair and smiling. 10 seconds pass. 20 seconds. The lake is perfectly still. There are no bubbles. There is no splashing. There is no desperate arm reaching up for help. He doesn't scream, because a drowning person rarely has the breath to scream. They are too busy trying to find air. 30 seconds. One of his friends stands up, the smile fading from his face. He calls out Eden's name. The only answer is the echo of his own voice bouncing off the stone cliffs. Eden has vanished. Hours later, when the rescue divers finally arrive, their job is incredibly dangerous. Many professional divers have described the bottom of Stone Lake as a labyrinth. It is dark, freezing cold, and filled with invisible blades of rock. Some divers even refuse to go down into certain areas, claiming the underwater currents are too chaotic. or that the atmosphere down there feels unclean. When they finally bring the victims back to the shore, their friends and families are left completely shattered. They stare blankly at the beautiful, peaceful emerald lake, unable to understand how something so quiet could be so violent. In Northern Europe, you have legends of the Kelpie, the shape-shifting water horse that tricks people into riding it, only to drag them to the bottom of the lake. In Greek mythology, you have the sirens, beautiful creatures who lure sailors to their deaths with mesmerizing songs. In Vietnam and across many parts of Asia, there is a deep, primal fear of the water. This fear has a name, Ma Da. The concept of Ma Da is a profound piece of Asian superstition. Superstition is an irrational belief in supernatural forces, usually rooted in ancient traditions. According to Vietnamese folklore, a Ma Da is the spirit of a person who has drowned. When someone dies a tragic, sudden death underwater, their soul cannot move on to the afterlife. They are trapped in the cold, dark depths where they perished. They are lonely, they are freezing, and they are desperate. The legend says that the only way a Ma Da can escape its underwater prison and be reincarnated is to find a substitute. It must drag another living person down into the abyss to take its place. Locals living near Stone Lake constantly whisper about this. They say the lake is hungry. They point out a chilling detail. The victims of Stone Lake are almost always young, healthy, and excellent swimmers. Why would a healthy young man who has swam his entire life suddenly sink like a stone on a calm, windless day? To the locals, the answer is simple. The Ma Da pulled his ankles. If you walk along the rocky shores of Stone Lake, especially as the sun begins to set and the shadows grow long, you will see the physical evidence of this belief. Tucked into the crevices of the cliffs, you will find small, makeshift altars. You will see half-burnt incense sticks, small plates of fresh fruit, and perhaps a faded photograph of a young man or woman. Families come here to light incense, hoping to comfort the cold souls of their children and praying that the spirits of the lake will be appeased and stop claiming new victims. It creates a deeply eerie, heavy atmosphere. You are standing in a place of higher education, surrounded by modern university buildings where people study science, engineering, and logic. And yet, right in the center of it all, ancient rituals are being performed to soothe the angry spirits of the water. It is the collision between the modern world and the ancient dark. But is it really a water spirit? Or is the truth even more terrifying because it is purely logical? Psychologists call it the optimism bias. It is a cognitive illusion that makes young people believe that bad things only happen to other people, never to themselves. The students see the fences, they read the news, but their brains tell them, I am different, I am in control. And then there's the science of the water itself. Stone Lake is a death trap engineered by human hands. Because it was a quarry, the walls go straight down. There is no shallow end. The water temperature, as we mentioned, changes violently due to the lack of circulation. This causes severe thermal shock. Furthermore, the water in Stone Lake contains high levels of specific minerals left over from the mining days. Some experts suggest these minerals make the water significantly colder and denser, reducing buoyancy. Simply put, floating in Stone Lake requires much more physical effort than floating in a normal swimming pool. So, you have an overconfident swimmer. They jump into water that naturally pulls them down. They hit a wall of freezing cold that paralyzes their muscles. And they are surrounded by sharp, jagged rocks that disorient them in the pitch black. You don't need a ghost to pull you down. The lake itself is the monster. Yet, despite the science, despite the patrols, and despite the tragic history, when the summer heat reaches its peak, the emerald water will sparkle under the sun again. And someone, somewhere, will click their tongue and think, just a quick swim. The beauty of Stone Lake is a tragic reminder that sometimes the things that look the most peaceful are the most dangerous. If you enjoyed our journey into the unknown tonight, please subscribe and leave a comment below. Before we end, let's review some of the advanced English vocabulary we used in today's story. Learning these words will help you describe mysteries, psychology, and the supernatural with much more depth. Here are the 5 words for today. Number 1, deceptive. Adjective, meaning giving an appearance that is different from the true nature of something. Misleading. Example from the story: the lake is beautiful, but it is highly deceptive because it hides a deadly drop. Number 2, abyss. Noun, meaning a deep or seemingly bottomless chasm. Example: the surface of the water was a mirror, hiding a dark abyss underneath. Number 3, thermocline. Noun, meaning a steep temperature gradient in a body of water, where the layer above is a different temperature than the layer below. Example: the swimmer hit the thermocline and his muscles cramped from the freezing cold. Number 4, vanish. Verb, meaning to disappear, suddenly and completely. Example: he slipped under the water and completely vanished without making a sound. Number 5, superstition. Noun, meaning an irrational belief in supernatural influences, especially involving ghosts, luck, or magic. Example: the story of the water spirit dragging people down is an ancient Asian superstition. Your homework for tonight is to go down to the comments section and write a sentence using the word deceptive. What is something in your life that looks harmless but is actually deceptive? I will read and reply to your comments. Thank you for listening. Keep practicing your English. Stay curious. And as always, stay safe. Good night.